Hey, this is Nessyp. We are back with Debonnaire music. You know, this has been really fun. I just really enjoyed this. And like I said before the break, that they have a new groupie, which will be me. I'll be stalking them and finding out what they're doing here. Okay,
Love it.
so do you guys compare, and that's not really the word that I really want to use, but for lack of a better word, do you guys compare yourselves to other groups? Because the song that I had listened to, you guys are like old school, um, with a little bit of new school in there. So do you guys kind of pattern yourself from older groups, or how do you guys think you sound?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I think we're influenced a lot by the '90s R&B groups. Obviously, you can hear
Okay.
it. Um, but I don't know that we sound like anybody.
Mhm.
So I never really go in that angle. And then because we try to be so eclectic, the only people I can really think that reminds me of them or them of us would be like Mint Condition,
Okay.
in terms of what we're willing to try.
Okay.
Um, they're not afraid of kind of stepping out of their safety zone just a little bit, with Pretty Brown Eyes, and then they'll go to a song that sounds like heavy metal.
Right.
That we may not go all the
That's
way to the
fine.
heavy metal, but it'll have, you know, it'll have a different sound and be like, oh, that's different than Miss Old Lady. Wow, you get that? Yeah. So that's from my standpoint as one of the singers and the writer.
Okay.
Uh, film music wise.
Music wise, I try not to do what everybody else is doing. So as far as like comparing to other people, hearing something that may influence me, I may take it and, kind of, make my own, making gumbo out of it. Take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So a lot of times when I'm creating, I may take a bass line that's from like a 70s funk song, or and take a guitar, rhythm from some other, genre, to kind of blend it all together, and try to make something unique, but still be accessible to,
Okay.
to the listeners. You don't want to be too different, but at the same time, you want to be able to have something that makes you unique. I think for us, we don't try to sound like anybody else, even when we cover other people's music. We'll take
Okay.
that and we'll put our own spin on it. We'll take two or three different songs and make a little collage out of it. We'll have the music from one song and the singing some another song to that music. It's just kind of, you
Okay.
make it like a mashup almost. Just to kind of shake things up, not to be so stringent on you. You gotta your R&B group. You got to do this. One of our biggest songs from last year was like a an island type of song. Had a little bit of merengue to it. Had a little bit of
Okay.
soca to it. So we like Willie was saying, we're not afraid to try new stuff. So it's hard to compare us to, we can compare ourselves to a lot of different groups or a lot of different bands or a lot
Mhm.
of different musicians, or, we may have something that has a little operatic, you know, tone to it, or, some classical, one song where I use like a classical type of string line in it, so
Wow.
it's a bunch of, we're weird when it comes to music. We just do whatever we feel like doing.
I wouldn't say weird, because I got the song that I listened to, I got a little bit of Jodeci, but I also got a little bit of Maze. Like it was
Okay.
with the tone of Jodeci and the smoothness. Maze is one of my favorite groups. So, but and I'm not being prejudiced here,
No,
obviously.
no, no, no.
But it was it
No,
was
that
it had
yeah.
that smoothness of
Hmm.
Maze, but that little
Hmm.
uh I guess, with Jodeci.
Hmm.
And
Little
so,
edge.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, I'll take that.
we,
Yeah, I'll take that.
we've done that. We've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you guys give to younger artists that are coming in and younger groups? What would be the biggest uh, advice that you would give them?
Well, if I can start, Bill, I say this all the time, but the landscape has changed for musicians.
Okay.
It's equal parts terrible as it is good. We're not ever going to sell enough money that we can retire. I mean, I'm sorry, enough streams where we can retire. So we're going to have to make our money, performing and everything. So that part of the game has changed. But what hasn't changed is if you want to do this, you're going to have to stay at it. I've had to find outlets for us to get interviews and to get our name out there. And just like there's independent artists, there's independent magazines and independent radio shows and stuff that are looking for stuff that we're doing. So we're all kind of in this atmosphere together, and it's out there. So if you really want to do this and it's about the music, then don't quit. Don't stop because you didn't get a Grammy or you didn't sell 1 million records. However many people are enjoying this interview right now, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. If we do a show and there only 3 people show up, you're getting the same show.
Okay.
It just doesn't matter because it's about the music. And I would tell young folks that are starting or have been at this for a while and they feel like it's going nowhere, if you really love it, just keep going. Don't base all of your decisions on your current results.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Phill?
One of the things I always tell, artists, because I'm working with a couple of artists now, is, know who you are as an artist, and make sure that, wherever you go, people know that you're an artist, whether it's on social media, whether you're walking down the street, you kind of have to carry yourself like that.
Yeah.
When I leave the house, I'm throwing on something, I'm a musician just by looking at me, my swag as a musician, you go on my social media, you're going to see me in my music swag. So, a lot of times, there are artists that I meet, I work with. First thing I tell them is like, show me your socials. I go to their social media. If I go through 5 posts and it has nothing to do with music, you're doing it wrong.
Wow.
Because people, especially now, if social media it's media, you have to use it. And if you're an artist and I go to your social media and it's you and your girlfriends or your boyfriend, and your boys, y'all drinking, or your girls, y'all out dancing at the club. I don't know you're an artist.
Okay.
You have to use the resources that are available to you. And if I do go and I see that you're an artist and there's a whole bunch of different things, who are you? Who are you as an artist? A lot of times younger artists, they see, say SZA, SZA's killing it. Now everybody wants to sound like SZA, or if it's, Jasmine Sullivan, everybody wants to sound like Jasmine Sullivan. Who are you as an artist? Jasmine Sullivan sounds like Jasmine Sullivan.
Right.
SZA sounds like SZA. They are unique in what they do. You know who they are as artists.
Right.
There's no question about it. That song comes on, you know exactly who it is.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like like I told you guys earlier, I am just an old school music person. And when I was coming up, you could always tell. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like back in the 70s, there were so many groups out. But when you heard the first 3 or 4 bars, you knew exactly who was singing. Like you knew the difference between the OJs and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right.
You knew the difference between the Jacksons and the Silvers. They had a higher pitched voice in there. But you knew who you were listening to. And nowadays, everybody's trying to sound, I think everybody's trying to sound like it. And I have to go, oh, wait, I just heard that person and it's really a different person. So I do applaud you guys on what you're doing and the sound of your music because it just brings it back home.
Yeah, and it ain't easy and it's scary because like you'll hear people who like it's Black History Month, so people that you meet that the first black to ever do this or first black to ever do that. It's hard to be the first one to do anything. Just like it's hard as a musician to do what the industry's not doing.
Okay.
Or, because what the industry wants you to do is they want you to replicate what's hot. And say, hey, can you guys give me a Chris Brown track? I want y'all to sound like Chris Brown. But, well, no. I just can't. And so if you want to be in this business and you want to get in your separate lane, there takes a little bit of bravery because you're going against what the industry is telling you works. We know that this Chris Brown thing works because Chris Brown's currently selling.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not going to work for us. So you have to have enough bravery to be like, I'm going to do my own thing. And, you kind of hope that your audience comes along with you and they understand and they get it. Because I personally don't want 13, 14 different versions of Chris Brown.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, what made those times that you were talking about so unique was there was so much different stuff to choose from Blue-Eyed Soul to Stylistics to Ohio players with the funk.
Yes.
I mean, it was a wide range of stuff. And now we seem like we're in this 2-lane highway where everybody is either singing the same music or they're butt naked. And those are your two options. I understand. And we're trying to do this without doing either. So
I definitely understand. And when you said that, I thought of the Temptations and the OJ, like I said before, the OJs and Cameo and the Gap Band.
Yeah, they're not the same.
They're not the same, but that you listen to them. That's the Gap Band. When Larry Blackmon.
You want to listen to all of them.
Yes.
And you'll sit there and listen to them all night long, and they're not the exact same thing. Yeah.
You is. That's really cool. Well, you guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I've been looking forward to this all day, so thank you very much. I have one other question for you guys. So could you tell everybody how to follow you, how to reach out to you? Even with Phill, you're doing things with other artists. So how do we stalk you guys?
Well, we have debonnairemusic.com, which is our website.
Okay.
Debonnaire is spelled with 2 N's. So DEBONNAIRE music.com. We have Debonnaire Music on Facebook or my page, Willie Wood. Phill Carroll. Smooth is our lead singer, Smooth Motley. He's on Facebook also, and Wiley J. You can find any of us. We have Instagram under the same name, Debonnaire Music.
Okay.
We're under Twitter or whatever they call it now. Producer X, what's it called?
I'm still working with all of this social media stuff.
We even have TikTok. We have, if you can type in our name, you'll find it. You can find us. And all of our music is for sale everywhere that they sell and stream. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, you name it, we're there.
Okay.
We have videos that are out there. Well, we have a video that's out there from a song called I Like It. And we're going to keep this thing rolling.
I am so excited for you guys. I really am. And I know that you guys have been doing this for a while, but I just found out. So I feel like I'm going to be the new person that's going to represent y'all, You guys
there's always room on the Debonnaire music train. It's nothing but room.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
And I just want to say from the four of us, representing the four of us, thank you. And to platforms like yours, because independent artists and, like I said earlier, independent radio and interviewers, we're in this together,
Yes.
and this one promotes the other, and this is, we need this, and I'm so appreciative that we met you and that you reached out to me and said we want you all on, and despite being nervous, I did it anyway. But
I don't see why you're nervous, but you guys did an awesome job. I really appreciate
well,
it.
I had to Google you and find out, and I was like, ooh, okay, this ain't, this is not amateur hour. This is the real deal.
No, you guys have been really genuine and really unique in what you do and how you explain things. So I appreciate that, because I just feel like people need to get to know what you guys are about and what you're doing. And that's where I come in. So I appreciate the opportunity. I really, really do. So now you guys know how to get in touch with Debonnaire Music with 2 N's. So this has been Nessyp of Nessyp Entertainment. Have a great night, you guys.
Peace.